Okay. Right. G'day TJ, how are you? Greetings from Tasmania, Australia. I'm Gus Mack. Behind me here, this is my sandwich board I made myself for my business that I have started called MAX, Martial Arts Combat Concept System. Now, I take my lifetime experience, I'm still relatively young, so I've only got about 28 years experience in the martial arts world. On the streets, I was a bouncer on the Gold Coast, Queensland. A lot of stuff, saw a lot of things, so I got a traumatic childhood upbringing, like I was a fucked unit. However, I took all this crap that happened to me, I took all my experience with coaching kids soccer and doing martial arts and being a bouncer and the observational security that we have to have when we're on the job doing any of our jobs here in Australia, because we don't have weapons, so we need to rely on this and learn how to fight. So I took all that and I started trying to heal myself. By that I mean I started Filipino martial arts 5 years ago, because for a few years there in the block with my post-traumatic stress disorder, it basically shut me down and put me in a hole. So I was looking for a way to get out of that hole. So in the process, I was watching a video on the bed of a grandmaster called Danny Nasanto. He's like a fucking legend all over the world when it comes to martial arts. He's one of the go-to guys who trained with Bruce Lee back in the day. So I got interested and I started remembering all the stuff I'd seen as a kid with, the stick fighting and really cool stuff with balisong knives. And what I noticed was I started remembering my own martial arts and my own training, as well as a whole heap of other cool stuff that I'd learnt over the years, but also all my protection stuff that was saving me from doing stupid shit to other people and to myself. So I went, well, I'm going to look for an instructor. So I reached out. I saw an ad on Google. It was a really bad website, and this dude, it was like the typical Mr. Miyagi type meeting with this fella, and I shit you not, it was like I had my very own Yoda. So for the past 5 years, I've been doing what I call Arnis, which is one of the names known for Filipino martial arts, Kali, Eskrima, Arnis. So I got into doing that as a way to help me rehabilitate, because I was 30 kilos overweight. My knees, my back, my hips, my neck, everything starts when you put the weight on. It puts pressure on your knees physically. So this was a physical thing, not a mental thing at this stage. I just couldn't move properly. I had to get around using a walking stick. So, I got myself back gradually over the first 3 years, just training, put my head down, my butt up, and all my boxing came back. Everything started coming back. All the rust was coming off. And I started getting fitter and fitter, watching my nutrition. I was going up and down, trying different diets, trying different things that didn't work for me, things that did work for me. Basically, I used myself as a guinea pig, both spiritually, mentally, and physically. And more importantly, I learned a whole heap of psychological tools for myself that I wanted to share with other people, right? So this is where I'm at. I'm at max. This is a big thing for me, because I'm broke. I've got no fucking money, mate. I'm doing this from my little passion, my garage, recording this. And I go out in the parks on sunny days and I teach people. Most of the time I'm doing it for free, because these people haven't got a lot of money either. So it's like I'm just trying to get people going again. But over the time I've realised learning NLP and hypnosis and doing your courses as well, it's actually helping me get more confidence about myself and to get this shit inside my head all, like a Rubik's Cube. Put everything back into the right colours. And I've learned a whole heap of cool stuff that I can share, and I've created my own. It took me 12 months. I created my own manual I call it the Learning How to Walk Again program. Because quite literally, I learnt how to walk again. I taught myself how to walk upright, straight back, without a walking stick, without injuries, without pain. You know, like I still suffer chronic pain, but I get by a lot easier these days without the stuff. And the important thing here for me is to be able to, like, I can't keep this to myself. I just can't. I've got to share it with people who I see have been in a similar situation, or very, very close to what I've gone through over my lifetime, and help give them a toolkit. Because for me, Filipino martial arts is a passion of mine, so it's my base for Max. Boxing is also another big passion of mine, and so is Max. Movement in general, like I'm a very active person when I'm balanced. So I took everything, put it all together as Max, and bit by bit I started developing my own program that was working on me. And then I started experimenting with a couple of people out in the parks and stuff, and now I'm confident that what I've got is good. And I also, because of my upbringing and my history growing up rough, like I came up on the streets. I was a 12-year-old drinking fucking beer and smoking cones, on a caravan park, which you guys call trailer parks over there in the States, packing bar fridges for fucking alcoholic truck drivers, and being around fucking rape and violence and molestation, fucking all sorts of nasty shit. I grew up in those kinds of environments, so I know violence pretty well, and trauma very well. And I didn't realise I had all that sort of shit, until I started working in the security industry, and then the cracks started forming, and boom, I just had a brain fart, and everything just went. So, back up the rabbit hole with that, with my story, is Max is very personal for me. It's not just a money making thing. I don't want to make money off this. Well, I do, but it's not about money. I'm trying to help others because I'm helping myself. And that's where it started with. I was helping myself, and by helping me, I can help others. And I feel very strongly about this, and I want to do everything I can to be a better coach, have better communication skills, and really just tighten up my own game mentally and in here as well, so that I can give my information, what I've collected over a lifetime, in here, so that people don't have to fall in the holes that I've fallen into. Particularly my kids. I do this for my kids as well. Like, I'm mad about my kids. Like my boys. I've got a 7-year-old son. He's nearly 8. He is a phenomenal little martial artist, and I've been training him since he was 3. But I'm also trying to instill all the warrior mentality, all the stuff that I've picked up over the years, and the self-help things, the books, all that sort of stuff. I'm trying to get it out there for him, like, as a peaceful warrior, so that he grows up better than I did. And Max is all about that. It's all about giving to other people and getting them to have a toolkit that they can carry on with life. Because martial arts, once you train martial arts, you don't forget it. You don't ever forget it. I don't care who you are or what you do. If you train it long enough, you will never forget your martial arts training. And that's a very personal thing for me, because it's helped keep me in my center. So I spread my martial arts out through my coaching, through my self-development stuff, self-help coaching and all that. But I do it in a therapeutic way, like a rehabilitation way, because if, like, literally, like, you could be like 30 kilos overweight like I was, and all you have to do is step. You just step to the right and you step to the left. You do that for a couple of weeks, and you start getting noticeably fitter. It doesn't happen overnight, but you do start noticing it in little increments, like, you know, the baby steps. And one of my main philosophies is, you know, because I've got kids, I've watched my kids grow up, and I literally have, because I was confined at home. And the thing of watching these kids grow up and sitting on the couch or in front of the PC or feel sorry for myself, I actually pay quite a lot of attention to my children growing up. And what I did notice was one common thing with all of my kids: failure. They all failed, and they didn't give a shit about failing. They just got up and did it again. We learn how to walk, right? We learn how to walk by wriggling on our backs. You know, Mum puts us down on the carpet with the mat and the toys, and we wriggle. And next thing you know, Mum's turned around 5 minutes later, and you're under the coffee table. You've wriggled, right? It's in us. It's in our ability. It's in our genetic makeup to just fucking move, right? So we wriggle. Then we flip over, and then we start commando crawling. Then we get the elbows in, and, you know, start wriggling like a snake, and then start crawling. And then eventually, the crawling on our bellies, we learn to support ourselves, and we start, you know, actually crawling on our hands and knees. Then we get up, we find the couch, we stand up, and we walk along the couch until we fall down. Then we get back up, we do it again, we giggle, we fart, we do it again. After that, we move from the couch, and Mum or Dad sits there like this, with arms open, ready to catch us. Back up the rabbit hole. We don't really have many people to catch us in life anymore. And that's what Max is all about. But back down the rabbit hole, to the walking, Mum and Dad catching us. We walk, we fall. We take a step, we fall. We get back up, we fall. We keep going and going until eventually we've taken 5 or 6 little steps. Mum and Dad are giggling like crazy with the cameras taking our photos, and they've gone, yay, you can do it. And we know we can. We can walk. But it takes a lot of effort, but it's unconscious effort. We don't have to think about it, we just do it. And that's where I'm at with Max, is I want people to have that unconscious ability again to go back and learn how to walk. And that's why I think what I'm doing is really important, not only for me, because I'm proof, right? I really am. I was a completely damaged unit. I'm 38 years old, and when I was 35, I had osteoarthritis, the onset of it from neck injuries. Right? My spine was all fucked from work and jumping off bloody buildings and being a dickhead when I was a kid. Right? In very violent encounters with drugged up and drunken patrons, and people just wanted to fucking hurt me. You know, I stopped a bar stool with my head, so I've got brain injuries as well. You know, my shoulders both fucked up from steroid munching, gold chain wearing bikies on the front door of a nightclub, throwing me around like I was a puppy. Right? Knee injuries from life. My hips, my back, everything. I was a screwed unit. But you know what? I took stock of it after nearly putting a rope around my neck and committing suicide. And it stopped 5 years ago. And that's where I learned how to walk again. And that's why I'm giving back. This is why I'm doing Max. And I know I've gone off on a bit of a ramble here. This was only supposed to be like a 2-minute video, and it's nearly 15 minutes already. But I felt that you had to know about Max to know about why I'm doing your course. I felt that I had to do this and give you my story so that you know who I am, so that you know what my aim is and why I feel a need to get myself out there in the community and help people, just like I've helped myself, just like others have helped me, you know. And so this is it. Sorry I've rambled on a bit, but this is Max. This is me in my garage talking shit, saying g'day from Tasmania, Australia, Launceston. I train out at City Park, I train at Royal Park, and Trevallyn trail race. Now, as long as it's sunny, I can train. So until I can somehow find a venue when I start making money hand over fist, that's what I'm limited to. So those are my resources. I'm a poor boy just trying to get by. Here we are. That's me. The hands are moving. I'm talking. Yeah. So there you have it. Gus Mack signing out. Peace out. Love yous all.